Greetings and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim. I use he, him pronouns, and today we are continuing our series of world-building one-shots this month with another game of the Quiet Year. We're going to be doing a map drawing and perhaps some light roleplay as well, as we tell the story of a community experiencing a year of relative peace following the collapse of civilization. We're going to go down and introduce everybody. I'd like you to tell us who you are and your favorite apocalypse. And we will start with Katie. Hello!
Hi, I'm Katie. I use she, her pronouns, and I don't have a specific favorite apocalypse, but I love the kind of apocalypse where nature strikes back. Like in the is it The Happening, I think is what it's called, or Bird Box that just came out. Like I love when nature strikes back and it's that kind of apocalypse.
That's very cool.
You can't really fight nature. It's sort of there.
That's fair. No, that's I need to see that still. But yeah, I once had these thoughts about doing something where it's like the forest takes over the world or something, and we've been seeing more of those lately, and those are pretty.
Or
cool.
Annihilation. Oh, that's such a good movie. So yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that one's great. That one is great. But let us move on to Val. Hello.
Hello, I'm Val. I use they and them pronouns. My favorite apocalypse would have to be the zombie types. So yeah, like
apocalypse.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Name a few, all of them.
You like Romero zombies, or like 28 Days Later fast zombies, or like
28 Days Later fast zombies, because
Yes.
The other ones you can just run around and just like make fun of them and everything, but those really like are scary as all hell.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. No, those are very interesting. I just like the variations they've done on them. And finally, Jay.
Hi, it's me, Jay, from the internet. I have like a favored post-apocalyptic like setting, and then I have a favored apocalypse. As for setting, I don't have as much affection for like zombie disease, but I like mundane pathogens that just cause plague and destruction in the end of society, because I have a background in microbiology and pathology and things. As for actual like true end of the world scenarios, I'm a fan of gamma ray bursts, because come out of nowhere, complete absolute annihilation of all life on Earth, down to the level of shearing DNA molecules.
Ooh.
Fun.
Neat. I cannot remember what I said last week was my favorite apocalypse, but this week my favorite apocalypse is the Robopocalypse. I for one, am going to welcome our robot overlords. I think that's the best thing to do, and the smartest thing, really. Let people who know how to be in charge be in charge. That's really what it's all about. Awesome. Well, before we dive into this, this is meant to be a light, chill game, so I'm not anticipating things are going to get too crazy, but just in case, we are going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for any of you, any of the players can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or make an X symbol. And we'll back up and we'll do something else. If something happens that you're okay having in the game but you don't want a graphic description of it, type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if you're in the midst of something that you think, and you say something you think that then you think, well, we might think that you're really upset, or that there's something. There's not really a lot of role playing in the Quiet Year, but there can be a little bit. So if something intense happens and you're worried we think that it's real, you can put an O, and then let us know that we're good to keep piling on any drama that may result from that. Something else we can do is we can put an O with a question mark after it when we say or do something that we think that it might be too much. After that, so we can just sort of check, is everyone okay? And everyone else can respond to that and let us know that we're doing okay. So the Quiet Year, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and do some. No, and now we're going to do some reading, because that is how this game begins. That is how this game works. That is what they tell you to do. I'm gonna do some. I'm not gonna do quite as much reading as I did last week, but we're gonna go through it. Also, I'm going to, like before, I'm going to go ahead and display each of these things to the players as we go. So, for a long time, we were at war with the jackals. Now, finally, we've driven them off, and we're left with this, a year of relative peace. One quiet year with which to build our community up and learn again how to work together. Come winter, the frost shepherds will arrive, and we might not survive the encounter. This is when the game will end. But we don't know about that yet. What we know about right now in this moment is that there's an opportunity to build something. And we have some tools here that we're going to use. We'll start by familiarizing ourselves with our tools. So we have the map, which is normally blank. I'm using one of the charted areas, which we're going to be filling in some details on. I'm going to actually skim this one because it doesn't apply as much. We are going to try to... Part of it is literal cartography, parts are symbolic. We're going to try to avoid writing words on the map, but common symbols are fine. Anything that can suggest what it is that we're looking at, or that what it is that's happening. So there are some dice, which are currently off camera, but which the players can see. Those are project dice. When the community starts a project, we place one of the dice on the map to note how many weeks it'll be before the project is finished. And each week it ticks down by 1. When a die reaches 0, that's when the project is complete. And then we also, off camera, have some contempt tokens, if we want to make use of those. Most games that I'm in, we end up using them more comedically than anything else, but the way those work is that they represent any tension and frustration that might arise in the community. If something comes up that you're thinking someone in the community is being ignored, or they wouldn't like that, you can take a contempt token. Then later, if you want, you can sort of spend it if you're like, I want to do something incredibly selfish, or you know what, I think the community is healed a bit from that, and you can put it aside. It's purely a symbolic thing that doesn't really affect much of the gameplay, but it does cast an interesting tone on certain things that I've noticed. So I have those there for us to be available. And actually, I'll go ahead and drag one out here so you can see what I'm using as the contempt tokens, because I delight in these strange darkened squid coins, imperial squid coins. For some reason, they called to me. So we also have the cards, summary cards, and they're going to remind us what to do each week and in what order. So we have the card. The deck does have 52 cards in it. We are only going to draw get about 6 cards per season for time purposes. So when we draw the King of Spades during the winter season, that is when the game is over. That is when the Frost Shepherds arrive, and that ends everything. And that is that final event. So who we are is also a thing that they have in here, where we say we all have roles to play in this game. I'm not going to force people to adhere to cling to this, but I am going to go ahead and read it out so that we're aware of it. The first role that we have is we represent the community at a bird's eye level, and we care about its fate. The second role that we have is to dispassionately introduce dilemmas. As scientists conducting an experiment, the Quiet Year asks us to move in and out of these 2 roles. We don't embody specific characters, nor do we act out scenes. Instead, we represent currents of thought within the community. When we speak or take action, we might be representing a single person or a great many. If we allow ourselves to care about the fate of these people, the Quiet Year becomes a richer experience and serves as a lens for understanding communities in conflict. We'll also be presented with opportunities to introduce new issues for the community to deal with. This will often happen when we draw cards or use the Discover Something New action. By dispassionately introducing dilemmas and then returning to our other role as representatives of the community, we create tension and make the community's success feel real. Now, the final line that they suggest here is that if there's an issue you struggle with in real life, like whether violence is ever justified, introduce situations that call it into question. And I'm going to also just add to that, don't do anything you're not comfortable with. Only if if there's something you want to explore, go right ahead. But I don't want to make it seem like we're holding anybody's feet to the fire here. So next we have sketching terrain. Before the game begins, we must establish some facts about the community and what its surroundings are like. We begin with a brief discussion. And actually, I see that that's going to, well, never mind. We begin with a brief discussion. Sorry, I realize I haven't been doing the thing where I show it to the players each time, so it's like, where is it? But we begin with a brief discussion, taking 2 minutes at most, of the general terrain and habitat of the area, which actually we're kind of skipping that at this point because we've already got a charted territory, which we're going to define more in a moment. So yeah, this one actually we don't need to worry about so much. This has already pretty much been done for us. We are going to talk a little bit about how this whole thing works, but we don't have to worry about the sketching in the initial terrain as of yet. Starting resources, usually we declare a certain number of resources. A clean drinking water, source of energy, protected from predators. That has been decided for us is we have an abundance of scrap metal, and we have scarcities of light and clean air because we are underground. We've been driven into a subway. And so we're going to make some choices with respect to that. Let's see here. The next one is the week, a definition of the week. The basic unit of play is the week. Each turn is taken by one player. Each week is a turn taken by one player, with play proceeding clockwise around the table. Weeks should take an average of 2 to 3 minutes to complete, it says. Again, not holding anyone's feet to the fire, and we're deducting cards. So, good thing about this game is it's scalable. You can jump seasons whenever you want, really. Especially the way they have it set up in Roll20. Kudos to them for that. During each week, the following things happen. The active player draws a card, reads the relevant text aloud, and resolves it. They follow all bold text. Project dice are reduced by 1, and any finished projects are updated. Then finally, the active player chooses and takes an action, discovers something new, holds a discussion, or starts a project. And as by way of explaining how these things work, some of these things are not going to be wholly visible. I'm trying to make sure these are wholly visible to the cameras as well while I'm doing this, which is why my attention is in 19 different places. Here we go, drawing cards. As there are 52 cards, there are 52 weeks, although we're probably going to have fewer than that. And again, we don't necessarily get to all of them because the Frost Shepherds can arrive at any time during winter. Most cards have 2 options to choose from, separated by an or divider. You pick the option that you find the most interesting and fitting and read the text aloud. The card might ask you a question, bring bad news, or create new opportunities. Many cards have specific rules attached to them, which are written in bold text. If you drew the card, it's up to you to make the decisions that the card requires. If a card asks you a question, think about whether your answer could be represented on the map somehow. If it fits, update the map to reflect this new information. For example, if the card asks you about the sleeping quarters for the community, you might end up drawing a row of tents near the edge of a forest, or in this case, in one of the stations. Working on projects. Unless your card specifically told you otherwise in bold text, the next step is to reduce each project die on the map by 1. If a project reaches 0, the die we're going to have dice that we can crank out and use for this. If a project reaches 0, the die gets removed and the project is completed. Whoever started the project gets to tell everyone how it turns out and update the map to reflect its completion. If a project finishes early, because a card says that a project finishes early, usually in bold text, then it's instead the responsibility of the active player to tell everyone how it turns out and to update the map. And so that's a thing that we can sometimes get hung up on that is important to remember. So if your card's bold text had you place a project die on the map just a moment ago, that die does not reduce during the week. It's just now getting underway. When a project gets completed, it is assumed that it went successfully and is beneficial to the community. In some cases, it might make sense to have an investigative project end with a hope dispelled. With a hope dispelled, yes. That's or even in these cases, the completion of a project should always feel like a step forward and not backward. This doesn't always mean that the whole community is happy with the results, however. Let's see. So next we have discover something new. Here's how discover something new works. One of the action types is discover something new. Introduce a new situation. It might be a problem, an opportunity, or a bit of both. Draw that situation onto the map. Drawings should be small and simple, smaller than an inch. What are inches right now? We're not sure yet, but just not too big. Because we're in Roll20 here. But it typically finish within 30 seconds. Finish pretty quickly. So you're not don't worry about penciling in every tiny little detail of a creature's eyebrow, basically. Whenever things seem too controlled or easy, we can use this action to introduce new issues and dilemmas. When individual characters get introduced, we'll give them names and record those names somewhere. It says to do it on an index card. You can just type it pretty much anywhere there's space, pretty much. You can feel free to do that. Some example situations: there's a dried up well located at the edge of town. Mangy wolves have been slinking around the woods. There's a broken down water wheel a mile upstream. Strange wailing noises come from the forest at night. A self-declared prophet arrives. Just various things. Any new interesting thing that you want to put on the map, basically, as a thing that we find out. And it doesn't even have to be a physical discovery. We can just find out something that's happening, or just some situation, and just represent that. Now, holding a discussion is another thing. That is another option that we have as your actions at the end of your turn. You can choose to open with a question or a declaration, starting with you and going clockwise. Usually, if you're sitting around a table, so we're just going to go. Pretty much, usually last time we just did it in whatever order everyone wanted to, so we can. I think we're fairly good simulacra of adult humans here, so we can probably do that. We share a single argument comprised of 1 to 2 sentences. We each get to weigh in once. If you opened with a question, you get to weigh in last. If you opened with a declaration, then that's it for you. A discussion never results in a decision or summation process. Everyone weighs in, and then it's over. This is how conversations work in communities. They are untidy and inconclusive affairs. This is very true of real life. Each discussion should be tied to a situation on the map. When a discussion ends, mark the situation it is attached to with a small dot. We forgot to do that last time. Hopefully we'll perhaps remember to do that today. Some example conversations include: should we retaliate against the bikers? Or if leading with a declaration, we should abstain from retaliation or violence. Could we use the school bus as a sleeping area for village children? It's important that we stay concise. If any of us feel like we have more to say on a topic, we can always hold another discussion about it at a later point. And start a project. The final action type is start a project. You choose a situation and declare what the community will do to resolve it. There is no consultation about this idea. The community simply begins work. So some example projects: we're converting the mineshaft into a cold food storage, or we're killing those wolves, or we're going to sacrifice a newborn on the night of the full moon to appease the windwalkers. As a group, you quickly decide how many weeks the project would reasonably take to complete, a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 6. You remember that you are a small community. I believe they say it's about like 60 to 80 people roughly, unless otherwise specified, unless we decide otherwise. It isn't easy or quick to build a house or repair a water wheel. Do you have the necessary tools and expertise to do this? Be generous with your assumptions, but do remember that scarcity and difficulty are the norm. If a project would reasonably take longer than 6 weeks to complete, it'll need to be completed in stages. Place a die on the map wherever the project is taking place, with the die face matching the number of weeks it will take to complete. And those are the basics. I believe that is where I said that I would go ahead and read through here. There are a number of other things we can do. We can change the abundances and scarcities if we feel that's happening. Like I said, we can do things. We can contempt tokens, things of that nature. But all the rules are still available for the players in Roll20 should they desire to read past that. But I think we've got enough to get us going here. So let us do that. First off, as there are 4 players, we need 1 more scarcity. So what are we thinking? Does anyone have an idea for another scarcity that we want to add to our list here?
I mean, we can go a given and put water.
We totally could. Water. Yeah. We want to go water?
Clean water?
Clean that. I think that would make more sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Clean water.
Yeah.
Potable
Or-
water.
The
Or
chat just said
drinking.
bandwidth. It's still. No, I'm good with water. I can. We can do that. I will go.
Especially like drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now Jim tries to remember what the appropriate size for this font is. We'll discover it together.
I was gonna ask that, but I forgot until now.
I'm using the light font up here in the text box, but I mean, use whatever you want. All right, so clean water it is. Okay, so that is our scarcity. We should probably decide where on this map the community is. It's supposed to take up approximately like 1/3 of the area. And so where do we want to be? I see that we've got... We also should probably, if we want to, decide what these things mean. So we've got the escalators going down into the subway.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this
Really
track.
cute.
What else?
What if we lived along the track? Like that was where we sat. We set up our tents, or even if there's like if we live inside the old subway train.
Ooh.
Yeah. I like
Good
that.
work. I like that. And then the escalators.
I'm totally not stealing it from Fallout.
Well, you're in luck. I've never played Fallout, so I can't possibly
So
tell
you
on it.
don't know.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, if you want, go ahead and draw like a little subway car down there if you want.
Yeah, I can.
Just so that we know that that's there.
Yeah. I'm just gonna draw like a couple of like squares. That's our subway cars, and like that's where that's way too big.
It doesn't have to be exact. That's no problem.
Yeah, like I think these are the subway cars, and like that's where we make our home is in these subway cars.
Neat. Okay, cool. I like that. I get kind of I'm getting almost not completely, but one thing I have seen is Snowpiercer.
Yeah, I can
and
see that. Yeah.
It's kind of reminding me a little bit, but although this is probably a different model of that. But there were societal things going on there. We don't know yet what societal things are going on here, but we will. That'll be shaped by this game, which is one of the exciting things about it. We don't really have to know much going in. We can just go. Okay, are we ready?
Let's jump in.
Let's do this thing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go first by way of demonstration, and we'll see how this goes. I'm going to draw a card. It is spring. Okay. What is the most beautiful thing in this area, or what is the most hideous thing in this area?
Both good options.
Yes. I think I'll try. I'm going to try to start positively, I think. So we're going to go with the most hideous thing in the area. No.
That twist.
Yes. Actually, no. I am going to go ahead and I think I'm going to try to figure out a beautiful thing. Apparently, well, we've got caves down here. Apparently, so it's not clean, but there is a. As far as the actually no. You know what? Scratch that. I was going to put a geyser in there, but then I realized that there may be some issues with physics. So instead what I'm going to say is that there is that this cavern down here has crystalline structures on the walls.
Oh.
And so I'm going to just draw a very horrible misshapen couple of diamonds. Two or three diamonds to illustrate that that's what's going on down there. And so that's what's down there. These crystal caverns. And let's see. So next, no project dice to advance, but I'm going to take an action so we can discover something new. Hold a discussion, start a project. Well, we need clean water also. That's another thing. When we go out and we discover something, I would not be able to say, and we find a pool of clean water. Can't do that. I can't immediately just solve a problem that way. We have an abundance of scrap metal, however. So I think, yeah. So we have a heap of parts and things of that nature. That's probably from train cars and other parts from the subway station. I think we're going to start trying to work on a basic, gather parts together and start a basic water filtration system. That's going to be a project. Because it's like, well, we gotta live. To make that work, I'm thinking like 3 weeks. How does that sound?
I was thinking 3 because we have the abundance of material.
Yeah.
So it would, and I think it would just, the reason it would probably take so long is figuring out how to make it work.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put the die over here, and I'm gonna draw a little thing to represent that we're trying to filter the water.
Blue drop of water.
Yeah, it's like trying to draw like a cup with a
It's a duck.
tube
Like
thingy
soup.
coming out of it. Which,
Duck cup.
yeah,
I love it.
that's water filtration. Yeah, that's the international symbol for it. And the turn now passes to Katie.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's another community somewhere on the map. Where are they? What sets them apart from you? Or what belief or practice helps to unify your community? How morbid can I go with this second option? How deeply can I put us down? I think that so this area right here
Ooh.
is this this graveyard of like our elders, people who have passed before us, who probably some of the first people who were driven underground. Like maybe we've been underground for generations and generations at this point.
Oh, cool.
And the belief and practice that helps unify our community is that at the end of every week, we give up a bit of our spoils that we've had through the week to our elders that have passed before us.
Ooh, interesting.
So like, any bit of metal we've gathered, any bit of water we've gathered, food or something, we leave that to honor the people who gave their lives, who kept this community going.
Cool.
So I think I'm gonna draw like I don't know what I would, maybe like,
A gift box.
yeah, I'm gonna draw a little present
Yeah,
because we're just giving them presents.
sweet.
Dead people love presents.
Yeah.
They do. Everyone loves presents, dead or alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just give them little presents. Yeah, at the end of every week, that's what keeps us like together as a community. And then I am going to,
We'll go ahead and take this down one.
I'm going to discover something new. And I think that we begin to hear this wailing. We're not sure if it's humanoid or wind or what, coming from lower in these escalators. So it's like this noise we hear
Oh, nice.
coming from here. Okay, that's my turn.
Excellent.
Damn downstairs neighbors.
I know.
Yeah.
You're
Curses
so loud. Keep it down.
layer beneath
Right,
us.
Don't make us come down there.
Oh, Val, it is your turn.
Alrighty. I'm gonna draw one card. Okay. Is that showing up?
What's in your hand?
Okay.
You can
So you
just
have to play
drag
it
it
Yeah,
out.
you can
to
drag
the
it out of your
screen.
hand to onto the.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Okay, yeah, just pull it up and just sort of click on it. Can you click on it
Ah.
so you can see it?
Yeah,
there you go.
there we go. I had it kind of strangely
Oh, no worries.
Whatever. Someone new arrives who, or two of the community's younger members get into a fight. What provoked them? I'm going to go with two of the community's younger members get into a fight. What provoked them is they're one of them was stealing from the honoring the elders type of thing, and the other the one that was stealing got in a fight with the one that caught them stealing. So there's that.
Okay. Now also, as one of the things it says as new characters come out, we can go ahead and give them names. So we can name them if we wish.
Okay. The one that was naughty and stealing is Walter. The one that got into a fight with him, Riley, I guess.
Wait, Walter and
Riley. Mm-hmm.
Is that Raleigh?
Yeah. That was just off the top of my head.
So Sir Walter Raleigh is fighting himself.
Basically.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's perfect. And can you remind me? I'm sorry, but my brain shut off for a moment. What was it that they were fighting over?
One of them was Walter was stealing from the elders type of tribute thing. So yeah.
Walter has been bad.
Walter. I might have got it backwards, but whatever.
One of them was a dirty, rotten thief.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other one is a hero. Okay. Then I'm gonna drag this over here, and I would like to start a discussion.
Okay, I'm gonna take this down one.
Okay.
And all right, so you get to either make a declarative statement or you get to ask a question, and that's gonna start the discussion. And we each get one thing we can say.
Okay. How to punish Walter for being a dirty, rotten thief.
And I assume you're phrasing that as a question?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and so you get to weigh in last, and so we'll just go in whatever order.
Okay.
We should do what our elders did before us, because that's the ones they were stealing from, and cut off one of his hands.
One of the community members thinks that some of the community members thinks, well, why don't we just take away his stuff and stick him in the back car for a little while, close to where the whaling is, and then see if he's after a couple weeks if he's learned his lesson.
Walter, if you are of the opinion that you do not have enough, then perhaps you should speak with others before the gifts are laid. That way, maybe they might grant something to you instead of you being so jealous of the gifts given. Then you might not earn a position among our elders as soon as you might.
Nice. And then Val, you get to make the final statement.
I'm just gonna say that I like the opinion about sticking him in the streetcar close to the welling cavern type of thing. The hole, is it called? Do we have an official name for it yet?
Not yet. We can make one.
Okay. The welling hole.
The whaling hole.
Yeah.
It's the whaling hole.
Oh.
Okay, and nothing actually happens as a result of that, but that's if we wanted to make that happen, then that's like a project or what have you. But
okay,
that's the opinion of the community, and then we move on to Jay.
Awesome.
Let's see what Jay gets. What important and basic tools does the community lack? Or where are you storing your food? Why is that a risky place to store things? Important and basic tools. So we definitely lack a water filtration system. But no, I think that we'd be able to make simple tools if we're doing that.
Yeah,
Where we
not for
stand.
one more week. We're good.
Yeah.
Just gotta
So-
hold on for one more week.
I can do it.
I think that, yeah, if we look at this, if we follow this path from where the subway cars are to our elders and then down, presumably, here, that is the location where we keep our things. If it is lower, then it is cooler, so they will last longer, presumably. However, we've not found... Eat the thief. We've not found the end of that room. There's much scrap built up towards the back, scraping across the ceiling and high sides of the walls.
Nice.
That is where we store our food. Okay, Project Dice go down.
Yep. So that means that the one project is done, and I will say that we now have a workable system for getting relatively clean water. It is limited, however, because this is like we've got this one place where we're filtering all of our water, so it does take time. So we by no means have anywhere near an abundance of clean water. I think we still have a scarcity of clean water, but it is getting better.
I agree with that.
Progress, slow but steady.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would like to discover something new. Some of the there's an older couple in the community who take residence in the forward-facing car. And the gentleman, I say the older of the two gentlemen, has taken the time to harvest some of the crystals and slowly but painstakingly made a piece of jewelry for his partner. In the act of giving this, the ring illuminates a pale pink light. Other people have tried to take this and try to mimic this glow, and yet only that person's significant other, the recipient of the gift, can make it glow.
Nice. Sort of love crystals, basically.
Yes, love crystals. That's what it is.
Excellent. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. Do you want to draw something to represent that? Or?
I will. I'll take a hot second and do that
Okay.
while someone else does something more important.
No problem. There's nothing more important than love crystals.
I love crystals.
So it's back to me, and so I will go ahead and I will draw a card. Let's see. There's a large body of water on the map. Hey, if the cards tell us to do it, it's okay. What does it look like? Or there's a giant man-made structure on the map. Where is it and why is it abandoned? Much though I think, it would give us an out for me to select the body of water. I feel like I need to go with the man-made structure. Because this is
Subway isn't man-made.
yes, we need to we need to increase the pain if at all possible.
Hurt me, Jim. Hurt me.
That's coming. Let's see. Giant man-made structure.
Phrasing.
All right. Okay. We're back. Let's see. No, it doesn't have to be a body of clean water. I am seeing that, but it could be like a lake of mercury. That would be interesting.
Would it, Jim? Would it be interesting?
It would be fascinating.
Don't tell Jim to hurt you because he'll do it. I've learned my lesson.
Hook me up with mercury.
So, outside of this, this tunnel goes a little ways. I can't stop myself. And in this area where there was connecting something. There was a service area for these trains. That they had this big kind of pit that they would lower, that they would go down into and work on the trains from underneath, that kind of thing. Sort of a train garage, as it were. I don't know what the term for it is, but you know what I'm talking about. There is a...
Is this like a maintenance place, like where they did maintenance on them? Okay, cool.
Place. And there's a large body of not clean water here. There's this red liquid. We're not completely sure what it is. We think perhaps it's kind of oily.
Ketchup.
And we're trying not to bring open flames near it. But it doesn't seem to be, they don't seem to have having too much trouble breathing when they get near there. Could be ketchup, could be dessert topping. We're not completely sure yet. But yes, this is appears to be a thing that people are kind of starting to call the Lake of Blood. And but it's that's what's there. And that's a large man-made body of thing that's not entirely water. So no project dice to take down. And then let's see. I think I'm just gonna there are so many things to explore on this map. So I'm actually going to start yet another project because it's I feel like I just got to discover something. We don't know what's behind this door, but it has a keypad. It's clearly very well guarded. We need to find out what's there. We need to try to get through that door. How long do we think that's going to take?
Well, did we find any tools in the maintenance area? We'd have to get past the lake, wouldn't we?
Yeah, there might be some down there. Maybe a few, but they're not.
What's the door made out of? Metal?
Yeah, it's metal. But there might be power getting to it. Well, we have a scarcity of light, actually, so...
I was figuring probably with the scarcity of light, we probably had a scarcity of power as well.
Yeah, we probably would need to get power to it somehow to make it open. So.
I would say maybe a solid 5 weeks.
Yeah, all right.
Because it's going to be upwards of probably one of the harder projects.
Yeah.
I was going to say if it did have power, we could just have someone poke in every possible combination until it worked.
Yeah. So we have to find a way to get power to the thing and get it open. So, yeah, we'll say 5 weeks there. And
make Walter do it.
Yeah, we'll make Walter do it. I think that is Walter's fate. So,
basically.
I'm going to draw a very confused Walter standing by the keypad.
Poor Walter.
Numbers? What are those?
You did this to yourself, Walter.
There we go.
Shouldn't have been a dirty thief.
And that's my turn.
Okay, my turn. Are there children in the community? If there are, what's their role? How old? Sorry, this is when the skinning happened in my last game. How old are the eldest members of the community? What special needs do they have? Don't play quiet here with me.
It's too late. It's too late, everyone. We can't turn back now.
This is when we. Yeah, Mitty. Yes, no, don't worry.
Help me.
I think there are children in the community. I think their role.
I have a good idea.
I think their role is to further explore this food storage room because they're small. They can. I know I'm not nice to children.
Better than making them food storage.
They can like get into the little nook and crannies where all this scrap
Your hands
is.
are just the right size for it.
The right size to reach in, and like we're wanting to see what the end of this room leads to because we don't know, and so that's where the little kids are used for.
That's their entire role in society.
That's all they're good for, guys. Just itty bitty kitties.
We use their kids for burrowing.
I just want an itty bitty stick person. Right there. Itty bitty baby.
Oh.
And then I am going to start a project.
Okay.
I think that right here is actually, we can't go any further because it's blocked off by like rubble, like there was a landslide at some point. And I think we're trying to clear that. So we can't extend further and find out what else, there might be more room. We are an expanding civilization. We want to know what's further in this subway. So like I'm just gonna draw like some rubble right here. And I imagine it would probably, we have a lot of scrap metal, so I really supported the triangle shirt coat. What is it? What's it called? The big fire triangle shirt whatever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I really supported that, Matthias. Anyway, I think that would probably take like probably about 4 or 5 weeks to clear off this rubble if we want to really. We don't have any dynamite, or we probably wouldn't want to use it if we did. But I feel like we would have. At least we wouldn't be totally left without tools, as we have some kind of metal that we could start making our way through it, but it wouldn't just be like easy to do.
Yeah,
maybe enough for like people to go through, but not enough for the cars to go through.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would say like maybe 5 weeks too, if everyone agrees with that.
Yeah, I think so. Especially, if we put some of the children on it, they can burrow really good. So
Yes, they can. Okay.
No, I have plans for the children.
Oh God, Jake.
Oh, no. They are terrible, terrible people. It's delightful.
It's very fun.
Before we leap to Val, you have it's actually before 5. You have a choice here. You can draw one more spring card, or we can move to summer.
Up to me or up to everyone?
I'm gonna let you pick since it's your turn. It's gonna be.
I'll draw one more card.
Okay.
Yeah.
For spring.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do to Walter.
No.
Oh no, I don't do that. There we go. I'm progressing. Where does everybody sleep? Who is unhappy with this arrangements and why? Or what natural predators roam this area? Are you safe? Remember to draw your answers on the map. Oh, okay.
In case you forgot in this game of drawing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Avery Adler.
Don't let this card boss you around.
I'm an adult. I do what I want. Let's see. I'm going to do with the natural predators that roam the area. And I want to go with giant roaches.
Thank you for not making them penguins.
They're penguin colored. They're black on the back and white on the front.
They're coming, Jim. They're coming.
We discovered during the game of Dawn of Worlds that Val has an interest in penguins. Apparently.
With lasers.
Yes, flying laser penguins specifically. But
But yeah.
so cockroaches. Where do the giant cockroaches come from, Val?
Ugh.
We were going with the whole Fallout thing, so I kind of went with those because I remember them.
No, I mean, where on the map are they? Are they?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm trying to pick a color.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and switch decks while we're doing this, as we're going to start summer.
Okay. I would say that they like to hang out by the Welling Caverns. So I'm just gonna put
Nice.
Roaches love metal music.
They do.
yeah.
I have not gotten to hear roach metal before, but I understand its choice.
They like to hang out there
Yeah.
very much.
The culture evolves really fast
Oh yeah.
around it.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
So
funny,
those-
but interesting.
hmm
Uh,
So those little dots are the roaches type of thing, and I
okay.
did multiple because they roaches like dark places, so they come up from there.
Oh, so they're not like human-sized
Yeah.
roaches. They're regular-sized roaches.
They're like dog-sized roaches,
Oh, no!
like poodle
Okay.
size.
So not
but they're-
quite Kafka Gregor Samsa sized, but more like okay.
Yeah. And our
Like
humans
they-
might be really small. We haven't decided that either.
Yeah,
That is true. That is very true.
Plus, if you get enough of them on you, they can kill you because
Humans?
No, the
That
Those
too.
are humans.
but those two. So yeah.
All right, I'm going in taking down the projects whilst this is going on.
Okay.
And you also get a move. I think that was your card, right? So you also get a move.
Right. Which is a discovery or a project type of thing,
Discovery or a project or a discussion. Yeah.
or a discussion. I'd like to start a project.
Okay.
Can we do with the materials? Come up with something that for power, since we have the scarcity of light.
It's not a bad
Ooh.
idea. You want to
I like that.
generator of some kind?
Mm-hmm. How long would you think that would take?
That's going to take a while.
Yeah, I would think that would be at least 6 weeks, if not a week later, if not later.
You could do something with the glowing crystals.
Oh, I forgot about the glowing crystals.
yeah.
That would help.
That's what my plan was with the children, to force them into labor because they love so much.
Oh yeah.
God.
We can definitely do that. We'll do
There'd be
that.
little light bearers going around with
Yeah.
near their parents that to stay near your parents so that we can all see.
Remember to love me. Love me. Love me or we die.
Crap.
Oh my God.
I'll put that right here by the. These are the crystals, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Crystals are over here. Yeah.
Okay. And just ignore the swiggly lines. That was me being happy.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, no, we don't want happiness. That's
forbidden.
happiness is not. No.
I
Walter
can't.
stole our happiness.
I can take it off if you want me to.
Okay, please do.
Okay. I hope I took the right thing.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
And,
You did not destroy my roaches.
No, I did not destroy your roaches. The roaches are still intact. Feel free,
Okay.
however, to draw a thing to illustrate that project.
Okay.
And whilst you're doing that, we are now into
I'll make that green.
we're now into summer. We're going to do the first card of summer. So
There we go.
Jay can feel free to begin the summer.
Now?
Now is good.
Okay, good. Ing. Summer is fleeting.
Oh goodness!
Two cards.
Oh wait,
of the-
no, this is the King of Diamonds. We can
Yep.
we can throw this
Fuck
away.
you, King of Diamonds.
Yes.
Jay gets to go again. Yay. This. The eldest among you dies.
Oh.
Cause the death. Or the eldest among you is very sick. Caring for them and searching for a cure requires the help of the entire community. Do not reduce project dice this week. The eldest among you has died. What caused the death? Okay.
Yay!
The eldest was the gentleman who carved the first love crystal ring.
Okay.
What caused the death? He was doing well and still ambulatory despite his age. and was participating in the clearage of the wreckage from the northeasterly corner of the subway. And he was, while clearing that refuge, settling it along the corridor that leads to the escalators and the loud noise. And in doing so, well, he tripped and fell on a banana peel? No. He was consumed and taken by roaches. But doing so has left a barrier for them to come through. Not for him, not through his remains, but through the refuse that he had left in that corridor.
Okay. So
Do they carry him away like ants?
You don't have to be so crass about it, but yes.
Excellent. Oh my goodness. All right. So yeah, feel free to draw that if you like.
Okay, well let's just start with this and draw Deadman. I'll do my action first and I'll draw that. Okay. Project dice go down.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead
and then let's see. Hold a discussion. Okay. I'm gonna hold a discussion.
Okay.
Should we go down and obtain? Let's name this gentleman. Actually.
Oh yeah.
Let's go with Amos. Amos. I'll put that in too.
Okay.
Should we venture down into the Wailing Hole to get Amos's remains so that he may be placed with the rest of our elders? Or should we let him be and let his legacy be that barrier?
Amos loved animals. It's what he would have wanted.
Amos's sister pipes up and says, well, you know, while that's right that Amos did love animals, Amos lived his whole life wanting to be buried amongst the other elders. And I think that traveling down to get his remains so we can bury him is truly what he would want. But also that's what the younger people are for, not us older folk.
Convenient.
I love how we're volunteering everyone else.
Someone from the crowd pipes in, yeah, sure, we should totally send someone. Let's send Walter after him.
I love it!
It's the other project, you bastards.
I asked a question, didn't I?
Yes, so you get to make a statement.
Yeah, you get
The Jeopardy rules. Got it. I'm going to say that Amos's husband, Joshua, speaks up, and he takes the plinth and is speaking to the people about letting Amos rest as he is and not letting his sacrifice be in vain. And as he is, the ring that Amos gifted to him is glowing brighter and brighter.
Ooh, nice.
Cementing his resolve.
Very cool. All right. And then it's back to me. All right. Okay. Predators and bad omens are afoot. You are careless and someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. Who? Or predators and bad omens are afoot. What measures do you take to keep everyone safe under surveillance? Do not reduce project dice this week. I mean, the temptation to have Walter go missing is strong. I will admit. But
then we won't be able to open that door.
I know, right?
Alternatively, fuck Walter.
Yeah, I know, right? Our predators and bad omens are afoot. What measures you take to keep everyone safe and under surveillance? I think we've just lost somebody, just so that for the curve of storytelling, I think I'm actually going to go with the second option. That we're taking measures to keep everyone safe and under surveillance whilst we have these freaking roaches all over the place. And Project Dice are not going to get advanced this round. I think we are going to build on Amos's barrier, and we're going to put guards there. And we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna completely close it off, but we're gonna make it into kind of a checkpoint, as it were. We're gonna put people there manning it day and night. Well, dark and also dark, basically, to watch the activity of the roaches and make sure they don't get too far or do anything terribly organized. And I'm going to give them a spear because I can.
Ooh.
Yes. Between dark and darker. So that's the card. We are not advancing Project Dice. So my move.
Can I, real quick, because I think this happened while I was away. What is this right here? Sorry.
Oh, that's the children making love ring
Okay, cool. I think that was when I walked.
instead of guarding our burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to make some light sources.
Light sources are not bad. That is a good thing.
Type of thing.
Let's see. I want to find something. The thing I want to find, unfortunately, is beyond the place where I just put a guard, so we can't do that. However, let's see. Oh, I know what I'm going to find, because this is always what happens. I'm really leaning into it more than anything else. So out here in the dark, where no light can penetrate, for whatever reason, there are people. We don't know how many people because we cannot see them. And they don't seem to be doing anything toward. We're not really sure. Hang on. Wait, what am I using? Alt for circle ellipse. There we go. Yeah. So there's this. Best we can tell from what light sources seem to fail and sputter as we go in here, for whatever reason, and we keep hearing what we think are maybe up to like possibly a dozen people chanting over here somewhere in a circle.
Chanting, you say?
Yes, chanting. Yes. Yeah.
Just got this feeling.
Yeah. They could be singing.
Ooh, good chaka. Ooh, good chaka. Ooh, good chaka.
Yes. So just some kind of semi-musical chanting going on over here. People perhaps in a circle.
Oh, cool. For sure.
So they're just hanging out there. They never venture into the light. We don't know who they are. But they're there. Now it is Katie's turn.
I love it. Okay. Oh, I can't draw from the summer cards.
Can't you? Wait. Oh, yeah, hang on. It's showing me a shuffle button for some reason, which let me double check the technology here.
I just can't draw
You may draw one for you real quick? Oh, you know what? I can't either.
I can like
do it. I'm checking the permissions on it because it was working last time. So I'm just making sure.
I can't draw like I did with the spring ones. I can't like it's not jumping up for me to pull.
Try now.
There it is. I got it now.
Yeah. For some reason it demanded that I shuffle it. I don't know why.
Contingent within the community demand to be heard. Who are they? What are they asking for? Contingent within the community have acted on their frustrations. What have they damaged? And why did they damage it? Is it permanent? The children rise up.
Yes.
I'm really
Yes.
considering that, honestly.
I am completely behind it if you choose that option.
I feel like the children rise up. The
We want
children. The children, only because they're still working on a project. I'm not going to destroy a project. The children demand to be heard because they're asking for more respect and more like for more. They feel as if they're getting, a hard bargain. They're doing all this work in the food storage and making these light sources and such, and they're asking for more for breaks. They're not getting time off like the elders are. They see the elders as people who are just sitting around doing nothing. Despite the fact that the elders have gone through this, they've done their part in the past. The children don't see it that way.
The children are unionizing.
They're unionizing. And then we're going to discover something.
Okay.
What did we say that this was? Mercury?
Actually, we don't know what it is. It's red.
Okay.
We call
Okay,
this the Lake of Blood.
Yes,
Like
it's
a
called the Lake of Blood, but we don't know what it actually is.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, so one day,
Take down the project.
one of these children are wandering around, probably down there like where they shouldn't be, testing out this like light source that they've made. And they see something sort of pulsating in this water. And as they get close to it, I'm trying to think of a color I want it to be. It's going to be it's going to be green. If I can find the green, I like green. Okay. It's this egg. It's like you can sort of see just a little bit of the surface of it. And you can tell that the water level or whatever liquid level this is has shifted, and it's showing the surface of this like egg in this liquid. And that's what we've discovered.
Oh dear.
I don't like green eggs.
Have you tried them?
No.
You like green ham?
You will see.
No. I don't like green eggs and ham. Because the ham isn't specified green.
Well, there's that snob coming out again.
know, right?
Jay.
That was a discussion before we were recording. I'm a snob.
It never happened.
It's not real. Awesome. Okay. And
Okay.
Val? Yeah.
Okay. Do. So what we do. Oh. You discover a cache. Oh, I'm not muted. Good. You discover a cache of supplies or resources. Add a new abundance, or a scarcity has gone unaddressed for too long. Start a project that will alleviate that scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Let's add a new abundance. Because I feel a new abundance would be like best type of thing. Could I start a discussion about a new abundance or no?
This is something you just pick.
Okay. Well, crap. That puts me more on the spot.
I mean, we can help if you would like us to help. But,
Yes, please. Sure.
Sandwiches?
well, let's see. What are you thinking? What kind of abundance do
An
you think?
abundance of children.
Abundance of children. An excellent resource.
Yes.
We have an abundance of cockroaches. Well, actually, not at our command yet, but
Yes.
Yet.
That
Wait,
might be the project.
revealed my plan too soon.
Well, it seems like we do have like shelters, and that wasn't something that we've worked at before. As for other like essentials for survival, there's like heat, and food, which we've not like done things for.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is discovering a cache of supplies or resources. So something that we are just finding now, I think, is what's implied.
Yeah.
Oh, we only have 1 week left for Walter to give power to that door.
Yeah.
He wanted to tie things together somehow.
Mhm.
Possibly, but yeah. I've got. Actually, is that this week? That's. Yeah, you just drew. So yeah, actually, this I have to decide like in a minute what it's going to be.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I guess maybe a abundance of a heat source or type of deal.
Interesting.
yeah, maybe there we find a
Yes.
bunch of heat generators or something. Or
Because it's like the little cache
Firewood.
type of thing. Firewood.
although fire underground is kind of a tricky thing. But
Yeah, that could be a problem. Maybe blankets, like type of, or heater.
Burning the dead.
Poor Amos.
yeah.
Uh,
What do you think? What do you think? Heat. What are they called? Space heaters, things like that, maybe.
Things like
kind of
that.
thing. Yeah.
That are self-powering.
Personal space heaters, that kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Self-powering space heaters.
Yeah.
Just like
Futuristic.
Get on the bicycle and pump for a while, and then it'll heat your.
Yeah.
Heat the room.
Probably. That's how we did. That's a good.
Okay.
Let's
So
see.
we can put an abundance of heat up there, which I'll go ahead and
Okay.
I'll take care of it. And now I must also, as we tick these project dice down, I've got to decide what's behind that door.
Okay.
What's behind door number 1, Jim?
That's right.
Yes,
Um,
Jim.
Let me go ahead and do these other dice before I forget,
Okay.
just so that that's there.
I moved yours for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, lass. Much appreciated.
Irish people behind
There are a bunch of leprechauns behind the door.
Leprechauns.
No, there are not leprechauns behind the door.
Ooh.
They would not be so foolish as to.
Just Lucky Charms.
Or there's a Ginny's lamp.
It's entirely possible. So let's see. This door looks like it is lower down. Oh.
What is that laugh, Jim?
So I was thinking about this before, and I wasn't gonna do this, but now I feel strangely compelled.
I just like this preamble.
Yes.
So here's the thing. So behind the door there is a library. The thing is, now it's like where apparently it was like a storage room of some kind originally, and it had a bunch of food and things like that in there. There is no longer that there. There are a bunch of empty shelves, and on those shelves have been put various tomes. And the thing is, these tomes are not in any known, are not really in any known language. It's not like, and they're not like, these aren't like human skin tomes. This isn't like, Necronomicon time necessarily. These are kind of on, let's say that, yeah, they're on, these, I'm not going to say exactly metal plates. It's something that it wouldn't require much tech to be able to do it. But it's like, yeah, we'll go wooden. Just like scratched into wood, right? These markings. And we have no idea what they say, but there's a crapload of them there on the shelves. And there is also a further further tunnel going back at the end of it into the darkness below. And
Don't like that.
That is what happens when that project concludes.
Well, that's very ominous and fun.
And it's still, I think, is it whose turn is it right now, Jays? Still,
I haven't done a project
I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, Val needs to take
It's
their
Val's
action.
turn. Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
because I know it's not my turn, but we were just introducing. Okay.
We're nearly there. Since it was kind of brought up, I would like Riley, our hero, to go tame and train the cockroaches. How long do we think that project would be?
Impossible.
Too long.
Impossible length.
It'd be easy
like
to make
a-
a headstone for him, I feel.
Well,
That'd be much faster.
yes,
If he's a hero, I think he would have it in him.
yeah.
Train the roaches.
Plus, who knows? That could be just when he peaked was stopping water. So, like high school type of thing for him.
Yeah.
He just peaked at high school, so
Maybe
stopping-
like 4 weeks? Or you think it'd be longer?
I would roll for it. That's what I would do. We'll see how much of a hero he is. If you roll a
Okay.
d6 and then see what we get.
Okay. D6.
That's fair.
Just one D6.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That'd be how many weeks?
What'd you get?
4.
I called it.
All right, don't
4
worry.
weeks.
4 weeks. Okay.
That's almost a month.
Yeah.
Katie is doing prophecies again.
I am.
Very good.
Awesome. All right, and so you draw that somewhere on the map and put the draw a thing there. Feel free to draw somewhere nearby a thing representing teaching of the cockroaches too, or domesticating cockroaches.
Maybe they can read the books.
Maybe so.
You never
You
know.
never know.
They could be like intelligent laser building roaches.
No lasers yet. No lasers. Resist the lasers. It's true we have crystals, so there's a possibility. But no, we must resist the lasers.
Love lasers.
I believe it
There.
is Jay's turn.
The square.
Oh, I love that.
It is.
Let's see what happens. Someone new arrives. Who? Why are they in distress? Or someone leaves the community. Who? What are they looking for? Ooh. I like someone new arrives. So we decided previously that the northeastern corner was behind us. Is that right? Or is that forward?
I think. I don't know.
Where do you talk?
The north, where the project is. This project. Is that ahead of us or behind
That's
us?
ahead of us.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, or I figured it was ahead of us because we were pushing. We wanted
I
to
thought
go
so, too.
forward.
The
Yeah,
train's going both directions, so
because that project ends this week actually, so we clear up the.
Yeah. I think that one reason why that helped, why that cleared up this week, is because someone was working from the other side. There's a man, bloodied, missing an arm, that has a glow in his left eye. In the brief moments that he has remaining of consciousness, he indicates that his name is Switch and he's a handyman.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Cool.
And he brings tools. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
good
he's
thing.
tools because he's a handyman.
And so that when the project itself ends, Katie, what's the result?
Yeah, so not only do we find Switch, but this clears up and it goes into more like railway for the subway. But there is evidence of like little tent cities around here, people who have been living here. There's no one else though but Switch. And there are murals and drawings on this wall that we can, make out in this little light, the little light sources that we do have. We can make out like stories that have been written on these walls, crudely drawn kinds of stories of like of how these other people came down here, and it's a different way than we know. Like, it's a different type of past than we were told. So whatever history that we were brought up being taught, it's completely against what we know. It completely contradicts whatever we were taught as growing up as young children.
Yes. Cool.
Okay.
I'll write switch on here too for you, Jay.
I put it on the thing down here.
Oh, okay, awesome, cool.
On the
I didn't see it down there.
I did not say why they were in distress.
Did I advance this project down here? I don't think I did.
I believe not.
I will do that.
Why are they in distress?
His arm left.
Damn it, Jay.
Switch. It takes a day or two before he's able to regain consciousness, and he will relay that his English or whatever shared language they have is poor, but able to at least communicate one word that shares meaning across both languages, and that is jackal.
Yes.
Fuck those guys.
Fuck up.
They're the Walters of the world. And yeah, so that is a known thing ahead of us. Yeah. Okay. What should we do?
I think it's your move right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about which thing I want to do. Because we have a handyman with tools who might know something about the other language in that library. Or we could describe new things found in this civilization ahead of us. I apologize. I'm a very indecisive person most often. So I'm going to say that we are going to discover something new ahead of us. So, Katie, you described what was on the walls going forward, and then small tents ahead of that.
Yeah.
If this was seen to our modern eyes, we might see that this is another subway station up ahead that has lots of teal tiles all across it, and there's graffiti across that. What we would consider modern graffiti, and what these people might think of ancient prophecies, deciphering those. So I'm going to say that this area is full of vibrant color, lots of graffiti, refuse, and then the remains of a people, but not anything substantial, as well as some more of Switch's possessions, which appear to be scrap metal, but they're whole, complete. They have form, but their function is as yet unknown. Let's do that.
Nice.
And I will draw that as things happen.
Cool. Excellent.
Nice.
All right. It is to me. Before I go, let me just ask real quick. Do you want me to go ahead and take my turn, or do we want to go to break right now since we're at like roughly halfway point? I'm good either way.
Doesn't matter to me.
If we're okay with it, I'll go ahead and take one more turn, since that'll be close to the end of summer, and then we'll go to break after.
Okay.
So, someone tries to take control of the community by force. Do they succeed? Why do they do this?
Children.
Oh dear.
Damn.
A strong community member decides to put one of their ideas in motion, start a foolish project. Oh, this card, it gives us so much.
I don't know why I've suddenly hated children in this game.
Well, that's the thing, is that you said that, and then it mixed with something else that earlier happened in my head.
I'm sorry.
But no, I've got it. Here we go. Are you ready? We're gonna start a foolish project. A headstrong community member decides to put one of their ideas in motion. Yeah. So this is Steve. Why are they all dudes?
Yeah, what's
Because
gotta be said?
women don't do anything wrong.
It's fair.
They're not headstrong or do foolish things, Jim.
No, never.
I've never played a character like that and am not like that.
I was just looking at our list and I'm like, wait a minute. We're only making dudes. This is an individual. Yes, let's say this is an individual named Lyceus. Yes, as he said, goes to fantasy name generator. And this is basically just someone who is a bit of a rabble rouser. Talks about getting things done over careful planning, and in so doing, has determined that we have enough raw materials now that we are going to. Our project is that we are going to construct we're going to build a raft. We're going to go out to the egg and crack it open.
This
See
can
what's
only end well.
inside.
This can only end well.
Only
Omelets for everybody.
end well.
We'll have an abundance of omelets. We can make macaron.
That's right. What we want are omelets, and we want them now.
Oh God.
We have ketchup already too.
So we're gonna draw a little raft down here that we're working on, and I think that project will take. How long do we think that'll take? That'll take about
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, to build the raft 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Get over and crack the egg open. So they've got to build the raft. They've got to crack
That's probably
the egg.
2 weeks. To crack the egg would probably take, I mean, this is a huge egg.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like 3 weeks to crack the egg open. So
I
maybe
mean-
5 weeks total.
Yeah.
Like reptile eggs are actually really thin.
I
and
didn't
soft.
specify what
we
kind
don't
of
know
egg.
what kind of egg it
Oh,
is.
I'm not. I'm just saying that we don't know. So
So-
it could take a long time. It could take not very much time at all.
Yeah, they've got to explore. Well, they've got to explore and figure it out. So I'd be willing to. Why don't we say maybe
A-
4
a
weeks
week
for the
to
whole
make
thing?
4 weeks total? Yeah, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. all
Or roll for it.
right. I'm just gonna go 4 weeks.
Roll for it.
No,
Just, it is a huge egg.
I'm going to say it's 4 weeks because I can.
Okay.
And also, I like the consensus on this one.
Consensus is overrated. Give me those contempt tokens.
I agree. Consensus is overrated. All
They
right.
try to crack it though, and it just folds. It's
Maybe.
It's a soft reptile egg.
I don't know what's going
Right
to
into
happen.
a snake's mouth.
Oh,
Soon. So that's not even to the project level. That's just
yeah.
graffiti yet more graffiti. I love it.
Even more graffiti.
That's awesome. So let's see. This ticks down one. This project over here. So we've almost got the crystals done. Whatever the kids, the child crystal carrying the child lighting project is almost done.
The CLP.
The CLP. And let's see. So, no one took contempt tokens over that. That's great. So anyway, we want that egg opened.
Totally forgot about those.
Oh no, it's
We already don't have clean air. Let's stink it up with sulfur.
that's fair. We should probably do something about that. Hey, yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. We're gonna start another project that involves an air filtration system. Because we're starting to worry. It's like, oh dear, they're going out to crack that egg open. So I think maybe, just maybe, we should probably think about making sure we have clean air to breathe before something terrible happens.
We could fix it by all becoming anosmic.
That's
That's much
fair.
easier.
We could do that. But I think for the main they're going to try to work out a way to do an air filtration system for the main tunnel. That I think probably is going to take close to 6 weeks though.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right, so I'm going to put that here, and I'm going to draw a little. It's like an AC unit, but I'm going to draw little squiggles coming out of it as though that's clean air. It's like an air conditioner, and that'll be a 6-week project. Excellent. We're going to move you to the front so that they have that, and 6 weeks.
Is the next one? Is this the last week of summer, or is the next one the last week of summer?
I was going to let Katie decide.
Oh, excuse me.
She wants to do that. Now, do we want to go to break, or do we want one more turn?
We can go to break, and I'll come back. I'll probably switch to fall, so we
right.
can just come back with fall.
Excellent. Well, we shall do that. We shall be back in a few moments. See you shortly. returned. We have are at the point now that we are gonna switch seasons again, and so I've just gotta break out the autumn deck. There it is, and it should already. Actually, I'll go ahead and shuffle it one more time before we do all the terrible things. Okay, there we go. So yeah, Katie, feel free to go.
Yeah. Introduce a dark mystery among the members of the community, or conflict flares up among community members, and as a result, a project fails. I think Walter gets way too full of himself, thinking that he's someone special training these roaches. Oh no, it wasn't Walter. It was Raleigh. Raleigh.
Yeah, Raleigh's the one doing it.
Raleigh gets too full of himself. He already is known as a hero for beating up Walter and everything. So he loses control of the roaches. Yeah, I think that project fails. He isn't able to tame the roaches, and it's not that they go wild or anything. They just lose. It's just back to how it was before. Because that was the purpose of the project, was just to tame them. Correct. So yeah, it's correct. Not that they go wild and kill anyone. It's just that he can't get a hold of taming them. So yeah, the Elder sort of shame Raleigh because he gets a little too big for his britches, and yeah, that fails.
Shame on you, Raleigh.
And I want to start a discussion. I haven't done one of those yet.
We're gonna go ahead and advance projects. And
yes.
Who started the crystal project down there? Because that's coming out.
Jay.
Bell.
All right. What happens? Jay.
The entire community gets lights. The light sources.
Do these light sources, are they all by necessity attached to a child each, or do they each carry around a light, or is it...
Everyone gets their own child.
Yes. The light bringers. Later on they can have a gang. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. It's also an adoption program. Want light?
Yes.
Adopt a child.
Every household has a kid with a light.
So if everyone's all right with this, I'm going to say that light is no longer a scarcity.
Okay with that.
Yes.
Cool. All right. And so now it's back once again to Katie, who has got a move to make.
So I'm starting a discussion, and the discussion is that one day one of the elders is having a discussion amongst the elders, and is including some of the children this time, after the children unionized, wanted to be seen more in the community, who asks how should we be treating Switch? Should we trust anything that he says? He is an outsider. Or should we keep a close watch on him?
Switch clearly needed help. So I don't think he necessarily brought it on himself. I think we should try to be supportive.
We can be supportive and yet still keep a little bit of an eye on him.
He owes us. We saved him. If he is a handyman, as he says, then we have use for him. If anything, we will placate him so that he works for us.
That's clearly a child saying that, right?
I think it's a cockroach.
Some of the cockroaches is sitting up in the meeting having a cup of coffee.
I'm sentient cockroaches. I think the elder nods and goes, yes, I agree with that. All hands must be put to work regardless, and even though he is but one hand. We killed Jim. I did it. I killed Jim.
Well, that's it. We're done, folks. Have a good night.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Okay.
We will make sure he is put to good use with his tools. Yeah, that's my turn. I'm sorry. I was right there. It was the lowest.
I know.
It was so low. Hey.
Well, at least we didn't say. Okay, yeah, no. I'm
It's
glad.
delicious.
I'm glad we're. It's good.
Pretty
It's
awesome.
good. I'm glad we made it that long without getting that much into the into the arm jokes. Well,
And
Please
he's
draw a
not
card.
fully armed, so
Worse.
please draw a card.
okay. Oh, here we go. Someone sabotages a project, and the project fails as a result. Who did this and why? Or someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond? I want to say Riley has turned a little bit to the dark side because of his failure at training the cockroaches. So he's going to damage a project. So let's go put this down here, out of the way. That egg. He's going to sabotage the egg.
No! Are you choosing that he successfully sabotages it or that he attempts to? Which option did you choose?
It's like this one, the first one.
The first one, the
Project
project
Yeah.
fails? Okay. All right.
Yep.
Not the egg.
Yes.
No!
Yeah. He, just does that. So do I just take off the dice?
Yeah, well, yeah, I got it. I got you.
Okay.
So,
How does he sabotage it?
yeah. I'm curious.
Does he hurt the raft and then they fall into Ketchup Lake?
Yes, that's
Oh,
what
no.
he does.
Ah!
He just goes full on. Like he's like, fuck this shit. I can't train the cockroaches. It's all Walter's fault. So I'm just gonna do this because this
Yeah.
egg is stupid and everything. So
Oh,
sink, my man, sink. What is Lysias? Isn't that how you
Lysias,
said it?
yeah. Lysias, who is, I did not specify their gender.
Okay. So he's just like, screw Lysias. This egg thing is stupid. He should have they should have supported me more on the training of the roaches instead of this stupid egg stuff. So yeah.
Go!
And then I'm supposing start another project.
Well, you can.
Wait.
Well, we need to tick the existing projects down after that card, which is there's just one left, so I'll do that. That's the AC
Okay.
project. But then you get to choose either. You get to make a move, any of those 3 moves.
Which is a project, discussion, or what was the other one?
Discover something new. Draw a new thing on the map.
Okay, discover something new. Let's do a project. Let's try to make Ketchup Lake drinkable, or find out what Ketchup Lake is made of. That'll be better. So yeah, let's kind of do
Alright.
that.
well, at least now we know what it does to human flesh.
Well, at least,
Yeah.
yeah, we've seen some of that. Yeah, that's important.
Seen and smelled.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do
So-
you what do you think? How long do we think we want that to last? Trying to figure it out. What are you trying to do? Try to figure out its composition, or
Composition. I was gonna say see if it's drinkable, but let's first find out if it's what it's made of, type of thing.
yeah.
Plus, I don't really know in my mind how Lysias reacted to being sunk into the waters.
Yeah, might not have liked it.
Probably
I'm
not.
gonna say
Probably
probably
angry.
a negative reaction. Probably, yeah.
Probably. So maybe 4 weeks or 3
Well,
weeks.
let's see. Yeah, I don't think it would take too long if they're just studying it and trying to figure it out. I mean, 2 or 3 weeks sounds good to me.
Okay.
What do you think?
Let's do like 2 weeks. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and put a die up there and set it to 2.
There we go. Okie dokie.
All right,
And
and
that'll be it.
turn moves to Jay.
Draw a card. Disease spreads through the community. Choose one. You spend the week quarantining and treating disease. Do not reduce Project Ice. Nobody knows what to do about it. Add health and fertility as a scarcity. Oh, we need fertility for chillins. Oh, that would be sad.
Who's gonna make who's gonna use the little hands to get into the nooks and crannies? Come on, we need a Chiltons.
Our workforce, no.
I mean, we have tools now apparently since Switch showed up, but
Tools are not medicine.
that's true.
Tools are not Chiltons.
Tools are not children. Tools are not autonomous. We can't.
Chiltons
just
are
tell them
tools,
to do
though.
things. Wait a minute. Oh my god.
Oh no. Jay's a monster. All right, what's this disease look like? It's hard to tell. People thought that some of the roaches had gotten in at first, kind of like some scratches. And as the crystals let off a pink-hued light, no one could see the small red rashes spreading across people's arms, legs, their torso, and finally crawling up their face and down their throat. No one knows where the beginning of this came, and it is as yet untreatable.
So what
That's the
else?
sound of the cockroaches.
Oh yeah. Which one of those things did you choose?
I did the bad one, and I made health and health and fertility a scarcity.
Oh dear. Yes, there it is. I see it now. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That's awesome. All right.
I'm a bad man.
So I guess that means I guess we get to tick this down, these projects down. So that's something.
Yeah. Okay. Switch needs something to do. Do I want to do that, or do I want to do something else? Do I want to have a new person? Oh, okay. Let's say that. Yes. Switch, being oddly unaffected by this new plague, has gone back, now more ambulatory and healed, has returned to the blue tiled palace to our northeast. And speaking only a few words, those metallic orbs with form but no known function rise and follow him. And he's not so good at sharing words, so he gets straight to work and enters the library and begins poring over the works.
Interesting.
He requests scrap metal and requests an aid or two. And I think we should hold a discussion about whether or not we should help Switch.
Okay.
So, should we give Switch what he wants and let him work at this task, which he finds to be important, trusting him and that it will be helpful to us? Or should we not permit this and give him a task?
I think probably one of the elders is going to say, "Well, he's not. He's just messing with the books. We don't really know what they are, and it's not really, I don't think, gonna lead to much. I'd say just let him at them. He ain't done nothing to harm us."
To harm us?
I don't know why all my elders are from New England, but apparently that's how this will happen.
I don't trust him. That disease didn't affect him. We've lost too many people, and who knows what he'll find in those books. Don't trust him.
And what about those things that's following him and everything? Why are they following just him? Yeah, suspicious. I don't know. Maybe let the assistant that he requested be a spy.
Good idea. Let's say that Switch makes a case, and through his accent, he's able to specify only a few positive promises as to what this would cost or what the benefit would be. And let's say movement, engine power.
Yeah.
Something short and sweet.
Okay. Awesome. Someone appears to be taking a sledgehammer to the side of my apartment building. That's weird.
Worry about it later.
Yeah.
This is more.
Yeah, no, this is fine. No.
Yeah.
No, that's no problem. No, it's just that was weird. Okay. I shall go next. Okay, someone returns to the community. Who were they? Or you find a body. Do people recognize who it is? What happened? Oh,
Amos.
oh.
Famous Amos and his cookies.
That was a thought. I wasn't going to go in that direction, but now let me see here. No, actually, I had an idea that is lovely. So, and this is also as this project is going to end, which is nice. So, rising from the lake of blood. Lysias returns. Seemingly now able to navigate it at a thought. Rising up, just sort of now, sort of red, goopily skinned. And is with their people following them. Are now going to come forward and occupy the station, and they're going to mostly stand there weirdly and communicate through strange sort of humming, chittering thing. They were Lysias. We don't know who they are now. So that's that card.
Oh no! I don't like this.
This is all Riley's fault.
Yes.
It all goes back to Walter.
Well, yeah. Actually, the one word that they say when Lysias that they can make out amongst all that is Raleigh. That's the one word they say that they can make out. So then the projects each go down one, and oh look, the lake composition project is ready. Whose was that again?
That was mine.
Oh yes. How does that go?
It goes well. I would like to determine a little bit because of Lysias rising type of thing, like the conclusion to that about what we find. I guess there is a mutagen type properties in the water, especially since they're all communicating a little bit telepathically. I'm guessing.
Sure.
You're the boss.
So, yeah, because the whole rising from the water kind of threw me off.
Yeah, they gives them like minor telekinetic abilities and ability to communicate telepathically. Sure.
Yeah, and other things that we'll find out what the way that Lysias goes about everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Don't seem quite the same anymore. So they successfully discovered it's just a mutative substance that's somehow gotten
Right. But yes, I'll look into it and sign up.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks. We have returned. That was incredibly strange. But apparently apparently something was going on with that sledgehammer that I heard earlier.
Just a little hiccup.
Yeah,
No big deal.
Just a wee bit. Just a slight problem. That was a little strange. And so yeah.
Bam, new window.
Yeah. So yeah, I had to just fix some things here, and hopefully it'll stay together. I cannot remember whose turn it was or what we were doing.
We were trying to see if the people who came like Lysias, if they were goopy or what. I think that was what we were deciding.
Yeah, the goopy type of thing with the water, the red, the ketchup.
On a scale of like granite countertop to mashed potatoes, like congealed mashed potatoes, how goopy are they?
Excellent. I think it's just for the sake of sanity, we'll say just slightly. So around the level of, let's say that if you were to pour some molasses onto a handkerchief, the amount that you would see coming out underneath through the cloth, it's about like that.
I know exactly how much you mean.
Oh, I'm glad you do.
I don't want to know why you know that, but I'm glad that you do.
That just sounds unpleasant, and they're just they're just like, nah. Try not to get in there, even if you want the powers of Lysias and his folky people. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
So was I?
It's
doing
my
something?
turn now.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I think so. It's my turn.
So we did just so that we're clear on the thing. There was a that project ended, and
yeah, that one was already brought down by one.
Card, really. Someone returns to the community, so I answered that. So that was on my turn. And did I discover something or start another project?
You did not.
You did not.
I don't think I did.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Cool. That was the only thing I was like, what? More?
You're right.
Okay. Hi. All right. Accursed interwebs. Okay. Good. Okay. So a thing happening then. Yeah, I'm. So we have. We're working on the filtration thing. That's a thing that's happening. They were going to try to figure out the water thing. They did that. Okay. Health and fertility is a problem because we're not going to survive. So yeah, let's do that. Let us see. I'm going to do a. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start the project that was hinted at. That Switch is going to be deciphering these, trying to decipher these tablets for lack of a better term.
That's smart.
I think that's going to take a while. I think that's going to take maybe like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I agree.
Should we name our spy?
Yeah, sure. If that's if we're going with that, yeah.
I mean, realistically, we can't have it always be Walter or Rowley.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And actually, I should probably move Walter away from all of this, since it's no longer really their concern. But I'm going to say they're still confused about everything. So,
Fair.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. So yeah, you can feel free to name the spy. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw dude with down there reading these books with the orbs flying around him. There we go. 5-week project. And that's my turn.
Nice. We got trouble.
Right her in River Shady.
Okay. My turn. A project isn't working out as expected. Radically change the nature of this project. Don't modify the die. When it resolves, you'll be responsible for telling the community how it went. Something goes foul and supplies are ruined. Add a new scarcity.
Many things to choose from.
How can gay destroy this community?
Fuck us up. Fuck us up so bad. Double health scarcity.
Yes.
Do it.
Scarcity of life.
We have a scarcity of life. So the food storage. One day early in the morning, or what we consider morning, because there's not really light day and night cycles down here. We hear this crumbling, and it caves in on itself, and we lose our food storage.
Oh no.
Yeah, that happened. So now we have a scarcity of food. We don't have. We only have like what wasn't stored.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, it like completely landslides down in, and you can't get past the rocks and the rubble. It completely caves in.
Yep.
And I think, is your filtration thing done?
Oh, yep. That
Is that
happened.
this week? Okay, yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna say that they finished the air filtration system and it works. Strangely enough, so the air now the air now smells kind of oranges for some reason, but aside from that, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. So I think. Do we want that to be enough to take away the clean air scarcity, or is it still going to?
I think that's enough,
Yeah.
because I think it's such a tight knit area that it would filter so tightly that it would clean out this area.
Cool.
Although that does mean that there's a draft or a breeze coming from where the shadow people live,
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
or they have oranges.
That's entire. Could be both.
God help us.
So we're going to discover something new. And I'm going to go back to my friend, the egg.
Egg friend.
Our good egg.
A good egg friend. In that one day we just see Raleigh sort of staring back toward this like egg. And we notice that they're staring toward the fact that the egg has become sort of translucent. And you see sort of this swirling figure swimming around inside whatever is inside this membrane.
Oh dear.
His eyes just got really big. I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's my turn.
I do enjoy where this is going. And as I had penciled in earlier, at some point in the game, a cult is always formed.
We've so far managed to. I almost started a cult earlier, but I managed to not call it that. So we're.
That's your shortcoming.
Yeah.
I love a good cult, so I'm always on board for a cult.
But it could happen. It easily could happen.
At first, I was going to say I wanted to start multiple cults, but I kind of was like, no, pace yourself.
Resist.
Pace
Yeah,
yourself.
it's okay. Yeah. You
Resist.
can only have so many
Yeah.
at once.
Okay, the community works constantly, and as a result, a project finishes early, or a group goes out to explore the map more thoroughly and finds something that had been previously overlooked. Well, there's really only one project to finish early, so I'm going to do that one, which is the switch going through the books and stuff.
Oh,
Well, that means you describe it, right?
Yep.
Because it finishes early? Yeah.
So I describe it?
Yep. So that means so that you decide how it ends.
Oh. Okay. He gets finished with it, and then he unlocks several advancements for the community, such as electricity, because these books are like the great library of olden times, if I'm not mistaken. So it has different technologies like, basically it's like finding Leonardo da Vinci's workshop type of thing. So all the mystical knowledge, advanced technologies that, laser technology, perhaps something to help with the food scarcity. I don't want to go like too meta, but
I'd say it probably wouldn't. Oh dear, I think something's happening again.
Oh, okay.
Because let me just double check.
Okay.
Because it might be happening again. I can't tell. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, all right, cool. Sorry. All right, I think we're still on. Okay.
I think that we're moving.
I got a solution for the food. The books have how to eat the roaches.
Ooh.
So yes,
What cost?
Crunchy.
protein.
Oh.
Disease filled.
Yeah, and that doesn't eliminate the scarcity yet because they still have to figure that out. But
True, but it has like knowledge about the different like way to prepare.
It's a cookbook.
Yes,
It's a cookbook.
cookbook somewhere with Paula Dean.
So
Add
this
butter.
guy who barely speaks English goes up and is like, eat to the bugs.
Yeah.
Huh? They're like,
What?
no.
No.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the card, and then that's the projects. And what do you want to do?
Let's discover something new. What did we ever decide what this is right here? The little light bulb thing? Or no?
Well, the this out here.
Yeah.
I kind of said that means that room is shrouded in darkness, and for some reason lights go out when you go in there. That's all I said about that specifically. And then there's like a circle of people in there chanting, singing and chanting.
Well, then I would like to start a discussion. I kind of changed my mind. Let's discuss if we should investigate the dark place where the people are chanting. So that's basically a declaration, so I'll leave it up to y'all.
Okay. Why are we worried about this? We need food quickly. Unless you're planning to go in and eat them, no.
It's an option.
They might have knowledge to end our scarcity. They might have knowledge that we don't have. Maybe that's why they've survived so long in the darkness.
We have lived in peace with these people for the past 3 seasons. Perhaps we could send an envoy at most. After all, as my cohort has said, they have thrived here. Well, lived here at the very least.
And Val you get
Oh, he did
I
a
thought-
statement.
yeah.
As long as if it's a declaration, then they don't have
Did you make
anything else to say.
Did you make a definitive declaration at the beginning about the what?
Basically, yeah, to explore them.
Oh,
It
you
wasn't
said we
really
should
a
explore-
question.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry. All right, yeah, I was in question mode for some reason. All right.
It's cool.
So, Jay, before you take your turn, I just want to know: do you want to draw another autumn card, or do you want to switch to winter?
Let's do winter.
All right.
It's
Oh
been
yeah.
so cold here.
Okay, we are now entering sudden death.
Oh yeah.
The game
Yes.
can end at any time from this point forward, because we are in winter. So the moment the Frost Shepherds arrive, that's it.
We're fucked.
The winter deck is out. Let me actually go ahead and make sure it's shuffled because I'm paranoid. It is shuffled. It is out. It is ready.
Heap a deep. Aces. Now is the time to conserve energy and resources. A project fails, but to gain in abundance. Now is the time for hurried labor and final efforts. A project finishes early, but gain a scarcity. We have no projects outstanding, I believe. So
None.
let's add an abundance.
Yeah, sure.
I
I
like that
think
idea.
you could make a project and
What did they try to do and didn't get started doing?
Yeah, and didn't get it.
I, based on Val's description of how the most recent project finished early, I think that we should add an abundance of modern technology.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Like, would you consider that like tools? That
'Cause-
Switch just like was telling us how to use it, or like, what are you meaning specifically by modern technology?
Because he has an understanding of electricity to the point where may have even installed have the ability to install lanterns through the corridors. But
Right.
the vague promise that he gave was some sort of propulsion or some sort of manner of escape.
Escape,
Okay, I
you
like
say.
that. We
So
love escape.
we have the means to make it so our convoy can move during the winter.
Mm.
And then when we stop in the following spring, if we make it that far, we'll have that same means to move. Maybe we're a nomadic society,
So
and each year we move.
then did we get the trains working?
Not yet. We have the technology for it as an abundance, but we still need to do it.
We have the technology. We can
Okay.
rebuild
Yes.
them.
So this is like, how would we describe that under the abundances list? Technology. Oh yeah, that works.
Yeah.
It is technology. Yeah.
Vague, specific, good enough.
Cool.
All right. So I think that this is a project. I don't think I've started a project yet. How foolish of me. I'm going to put Walter in charge. And I'm going to say that in order to make it so all the trains are functional, I'm going to say 6. Because now we're doing 5, and then we might draw the king. So I'm going to say, what do you guys think? I think that doing 1 week per thing makes sense.
I agree.
And then that's how many
Okay.
trains are moving. I like that idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. For getting each.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is for momentum, for movement and propulsion, and for our children.
Finally doing something for them for a change, eh?
I mean, we're making them install it,
Oh yeah.
which is sipping on lemonade and hanging out with the ketchup people.
They're the workforce.
And the kids are saying, I'd be glad when I'm an adult.
Walter, Switch, and the kids are the only ones doing any work. Oh, nice. All right. I guess it's back to me. Winter. An infected outsider arrives seeking amnesty. They have some much-needed resources with them. Choose one. Welcome them into the community. Remove the scarcity, but also introduce an infection into the community. I don't think we even fully dealt with the last infection. Bar them from entry. What scarcity could they have addressed? How does its need become more dire this week? Oh, wow. Okay. Is now the time for me to do this horrible thing I was thinking of
Yep.
doing?
It's time. It's
Now
winter.
it's time for me to think of this horrible thing I was doing. Okay, so
It's the winter of our discontent.
now indeed is the discount of our winter tents. No, wait. So here's the deal, right? So I don't know if I can even bring myself to do this. Yes, I can.
You gotta.
Someone arrives from the climbs up out of the whaling hole and clambers forward and talks to the guards, but they do not let them in because they're speaking haltingly and with difficulty. And after a little while, they're offering to come and their basic statement is, if you help us, we will we know a way to cleanse your water. And the thing is that first off, they come on riding on the back of one of the big roaches. That's one of the things. That's one reason they don't trust them. The other reason they don't trust them is that they look kind of like they're made of roaches. It's not a bunch of roaches in a trench coat, not exactly. But it is a bit of a gestalt creature of smaller roaches, basically more normal sized, but they have formed a human shaped thing that stands forth and offers this aid. And they keep them out.
Clearly for good reason.
Because, it's like, yeah, great, thanks. Appreciate it. Not going to do it. So, the water supply, as they... oh, dear. So, you are going to have trouble with your water soon. We're going to help you. No, stay out. Then they go and look at the filtration unit to discover that the water has turned red and has been infected by the mutagen from the Lake of Blood.
Oh, great. I didn't touch it.
So they're a bit of a problem with the water supply now. That scarcity is really hitting home. They never secured it. They only still had the one filter, and it's somehow now having a problem. And it could be Lysias's fault, perhaps. They're standing close to it, but hard to say. Hard to say. So that's that. So Project Dice will go down one, and so we do that. So working desperately on Walter's on the other side, working desperately on the train, watching this happen.
Stop staring at me.
And still confused. Let's see. And for my next trick, I'm going to make a discovery.
I know you want to do something. You want to do something horrible. Just do it.
I'm going to make a discovery now.
It's winter. Do it.
Are you ready? Yeah. Here. You ready for my discovery?
Yes.
Here is my discovery.
Oh no.
They send someone in past Lysias as the people are going around to check things out, and they see that the egg has opened and whatever was in there has gotten out.
Yes.
It's not in the room, at least not where they can see it right now, but that egg's open and empty. It's hatched.
Yes.
That's my turn.
It has. And it's my turn.
Yes. Yes.
Winter is harsh, and desperation gives rise to fear-mongering. Choose one. Spend the week calming the masses and dispelling their violent sentiments. This week ends immediately. Declare war on someone or something. This counts as starting a project. I think we try to calm the masses and dispel their violent sentiments. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not start anything? The
Nope,
weekends?
So the Project Dice don't count down, and
Awesome,
you don't do
okay,
another thing.
cool.
The weekends immediately. So
Cool. That's what I wanted to make sure, yeah.
It's on to Val.
Yay! I would have totally went for war.
I almost had us doing war on the creature revealing itself, but
Let's see what I can get into. Winter elements destroy a food source. If this was your only food source, add a scarcity. If I can speak. Words are hard.
words are very hard, don't worry.
Yeah. Winter elements leave everyone cold, tired, and miserable. Project dice are not reduced this week.
Winter's rough.
We're getting out of here.
You're just screwed either way.
We got one
Um,
train working.
Yeah.
We already have a food scarcity.
Double food
Yeah.
scarcity.
Double food scarcity.
Eat
Well,
our
let's-
space heaters.
We're gonna have to destroy a food source. Where are our food sources other than the roaches?
I mean, I think we just generally just said food.
Oh,
Yeah, we-
okay.
Yeah, well,
We
yeah,
didn't have,
because
like, a
we
source.
already destroyed these out here. This food source out here.
Okay.
I see one over here.
That's not food.
Okay.
That's for our ancestors. We already had to teach water.
I was talking about our ancestors.
I know.
Oh.
Yay.
It's been a while. I don't know if they're still good.
Hey.
Bones make great stock.
The marrow.
Oh, God.
So yeah, okay. I'll just I guess put a line for the food source. I guess.
Well, no, that's a scarcity still. So,
Yeah. So double scarcity.
so it's food.
we
is,
really ain't got no
food is
food.
doubly scarce.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll just,
Or
I'll just say food
that
times two.
this creature, whatever was in the egg, is eating the roaches. So
Yeah, so like the
Yeah.
the roach plan is no longer available.
valid.
Yeah,
Oh,
There we go.
yeah, we're having trouble. We're not going to be able to survive
There's-
very long.
there's
Yeah,
like claw marks in the ceiling that crawled over all of the cars.
Yeah,
right.
Oh.
You see just roach heads, some places, just the heads, like
Pretty awesome. This is
like
so
that. So yeah, and then I want to start a discussion
Awesome. Oh, really?
About,
what would you like to talk about?
the option of eating those that are not productive, perhaps. It might be for the kids to decide this.
Is this a declaration or a question?
This is, I guess, a declaration that the kids are thinking about eating the adults.
Oh, okay.
So this would be the kids.
I think I'm thinking we should eat some adults, is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they've lived long enough at this point. Isn't it their goal in life to end up with the other elders in the graveyard? Let's just send them there sooner.
I feel like cannibalism is bad. I'd really prefer we not do that, says Walter.
Oh, it's always Walter. Ruining our good time.
And I picture Riley just saying, shut up, Riley. You can't train the roaches.
Switch only has one hand, and he's awful nice to us. Maybe just parts.
Oh dear.
My last game of the quiet year took this turn too.
How fast we engage in cannibalism.
That's the question for every game for the quiet year.
Ah, we are terrible, terrible people.
Yep.
And that concludes my turn.
Yay! Did we already take down the
Yeah,
the
we
project?
did.
Okay.
I did.
All right,
It's
cool.
down to dose.
All right.
Oh, Jay.
J turn. Oh god, I dislike this. Huh. What is winter like in the area? How do the community members react to the winter? That's a good question. It's been a simple winter. After all, we have heat in abundance, so no one has suffered, and we're fairly warm due to the warm rash spreading across our bodies. It's been well, and spirits are up. 2 of the trains are working, and we have a means of propulsion, so we might all survive the Frost Shepherds this year. But there are too many important things or scarcities for that.
Like at least 3 really important things.
Details.
This is great.
So Project Dice go down.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that it is colder in the location where the guard is, as well as our elders. The boneyard.
The boneyard.
The boneyard. I want to discover something new. Let's see. Which of these things could I help? Let's see, we got the Braylon. Oh, okay. I got one. So, some people in their desperation for food and water have made a small band and have gone into the darkness. All but one come back. Those that go through have tell stories of the space around them, material darkness, changing, building, interacting with them without noise. Just sheets moving around them that they can only see because it obstructs their view of the others that went with them. The smell of oranges is sweet, almost rancid in their noses. They come back lessened, not only by one, but their constitutions lessened as well. Thank you.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna add one more small wrinkle into that and say that their rashes have stopped spreading. Those people that went in.
Interesting.
Because citrus is vitamin C and it's good for your immune systems.
It does get rid of scurvy.
They just found a...
Yeah, they probably just have scurvy.
They just got
All their
scurvy.
wounds opening up.
They got subterranean scurvy.
Subterranean scurvy from
They
those
found a
evil
portal to the
mo
plane of
pirates.
shadow oranges.
Shadow oranges. That's my metal band.
Shadow oranges. That'd be good. The shadow oranges.
They're the ones making all the noise in the Wailing Hole.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
So...
And that is me.
All right. Well then, so a mysterious discovery. We're not sure what it means, but it's an interesting thing. Let's see.
I will add shapes.
Excellent. Okay, so the time has come to consolidate your efforts and your borders. Projects located outside the settlement fail, and all remaining projects are reduced by 2 this week, or someone finds a curious opportunity on the edge of the map, start a project related to this discovery. Okay. I don't think we have any projects going right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pick...
One project.
Yeah, it'll finish this week.
Oh, yeah, we do. So we could, yeah. It's about to finish anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and take option number 2. I'm going to take door number 2. Someone finds a curious opportunity on the edge of the map, and so let me put a discovery out here. So curious opportunity. All right. So something that's not necessarily... okay, got it. So beyond the crystal cave here, there is another cave. Which I'm going to try to draw within the boundaries of the screen, but it's probably going to be a little bit outside of what folks are going to see at home. So I'm going to move the camera in a moment. And growing in this cave, they find mushrooms. Lots and lots of mushrooms. We don't know if they're edible. We don't know if they're poisonous. We don't know if they have medicinal properties. We don't know if they're going to come alive and destroy us. But there are a bunch of mushrooms out there, and those could potentially be our doom or our salvation. And so that's what I drew, and I'm going to go ahead and move the camera slightly just so that folks can see kind of the edge, at least, of what I drew there. All right. And now, project ticks down. So the project ends.
Oh, you start a project based on...
Oh, that's right. I start a project.
your
Thank you.
opportunity.
So they're gonna. So the process involves evaluation of the mushrooms, and trying to figure out what the heck they are, and if they are any of the things that I mentioned. 3 weeks.
I was gonna say 3 weeks.
It's just 3 weeks of someone like chanting at Walter, "Eat it, eat it, eat it."
Try this one. Now try this one. Now try this one.
Are we sure it's Walter or is it Raleigh? Since
Oh, it's Rally now.
Yeah.
Rally
Walter's
now.
working on the train. Walter's redeeming himself.
Yep.
The hero. Yeah. Mycotoxins do take effect only if ingested and are basically immediate. Well, half an hour to 45 minutes at the longest.
This is good to know. So whose project was the train project?
Me? I think it was me.
I think it was you two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
How does that end?
All of the train cars have propulsion systems. However, they are not faced with what we thought was towards the northeast. They are going back from whence we came. So it's beneficial. It is positive. But it's not what was originally intended. The consequences of this are yet to be determined.
So they're going the opposite way instead of forward?
That's how they're lined up.
Okay.
To change that would require another project.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotta find a roundhouse or something down there.
Oh, and I'm going to say that Walter did the best work amongst all the small children and one armed gentleman.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. As things are coming to fruition here, I think that, let's see, the thing I'm going to do now, let's see, either I could discover something or we could discuss a thing. Actually, I think we've got some pretty clear objectives here right now. So let's make something else terrible happen. I think that, no, not terrible, really. I think that, so we're discovering something new. The Song of the Shadow Orange has begun to take, since the folks have come back, has begun to take on material form in the caves. It also looks like just sort of a circle of individuals, sort of hazily, more sort of shadow looking, and they seem to be trying to tell us something, but we can all we hear is the singing. We're not sure what it means, but there is it seems very important, whatever it is they're trying to say. And that is my turn.
Okay. A headstrong community member takes charge of the community's work efforts. A project fails, and then a different project finishes early. Or a headstrong community member tries to take control of the community. How are they prevented from doing this? Due to the conflict, project dice are not reduced this week. I think it's going to be the second one. And I think Switch tries to take control of the community.
Ooh.
I think I think he rises up and like he's been here long enough that he's learned our language. You know, he it's still like broken, but he can communicate very well now. And he tries to get this little group going, you know, to rise up against some of the elders, and they end up taking his other arm. And so Project Dice aren't reduced this week, and they run Switch back into the darkness ahead of us. They run him off.
How do they cook that other arm?
I'm not gonna answer that question. No, I'm not. I almost did.
You could fricassee it. It would be fine.
And I'm going to start a project, and this is going to be a very sort of vague kind of thing. I think it's going to probably take about 3 to 4 weeks, and you decide. There's going to be a scouting party that goes to look for the creature that hatched from this egg.
Yay!
Yeah. So I don't know, like 3 or 4 weeks. You think?
Oh, 3 weeks I think is plenty.
3 weeks? Okay, yeah. I'll do 3 weeks. Yeah.
I am excited to see how this goes.
Okay. There's a little scouting party. Okay, yeah, that's my turn.
Yay! My turn.
Oh, did we tick? Oh, no, we don't tick down.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, not this week.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yes. Someone goes missing. They're alone in the winter elements. Choose one. The community organizes constant search parties, and eventually the person is found. Project dice are not reduced this week, or no one ever hears from that person again. Riley goes missing,
Oh no!
and no one ever hears from that person again.
Bye, Raleigh!
Bye, Riley. Bye.
Tick these dice down. Thanks, Riley.
Bye. Thank you, Riley. Thank you. It's all because of the roaches. We don't care about you no more.
Yeah. Doom.
Yes. And now, I want to discover if there's anything more to offer in the mushroom cave. So wanted to look around, perhaps for some materials, for stuff.
So are you making a discovery, or is this a project?
A project type of thing. So maybe 2 weeks to really look over the cave, make sure that everything's, and if anything at all is there to use.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put like that there.
All right. Ted.
And yeah, and that would be my turn.
Okay. Jay will draw the king. Game over. Gamma Ovar.
Shepherds arrive. The game is over.
I actually like a really good time too.
Yeah.
Darn it! I wanted to see what happened when they found that beast.
The beast is the Frost Shepherds.
Yeah. The beast was the Frost Shepherd all along.
Holy moly!
I thought maybe the shadow oranges was the Frost Shepherds.
Yeah, they could be. Yeah, they were
We didn't
heralding
get any
something.
love lasers. We didn't get.
Yep.
So close. So close.
Oh,
Next
God,
time.
yet so far.
But we turned on everyone that helped us. In the end, we were doomed.
As is our want.
As is our want. Yes, absolutely. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for playing, folks. That's
Yeah.
that's a quiet year. So I guess what we'll do now is this time we're going to go in the opposite direction, ask folks to say what they thought about the game, if they have any final thoughts about it, what they think the Frost Shepherds mean, or anything like that. I think we've already kind of talked about that, but just whatever, anything else they want to say, and also where people can find you, anything you're working on, anything you want to plug. We're going to go the opposite direction, so I'm going to start with Jay.
I think that the Frost Shepherds come in like a nuclear winter, kind of like just like a flat 2-dimensional screen moving forward, just freezing things. And the trains move up and go, and one of the last shots we see is them running over Switch. He just turns and he just sees this last moment is him realizing what's about to happen to him.
Oh no.
I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram. If you like the sound of my voice and tolerate the look on my face, you can find me there. I have each month I make a document of what games I want to run, either short campaigns or one-shots. So if you wish to view my insanity document, DM me and something might happen. I also have I done a voice acting this year. I did a paid voice acting gig.
Cool.
That is the last link there. It's an Indiegogo for a novel that is being written by a very kind gentleman in Liverpool, and he had to make use of my very American voice because it's set in a post-apocalyptic, well, not post-apocalyptic, a sort of future cyberpunk America. It's fun and nice, and he's a nice person, so go support his thing or don't. That's me.
Nice. Awesome. You'll want to check that out. Yeah, and folks, as we go, feel free to put your links in chat and all that, so we can get to them. And thank you so much for playing. This was very cool. Val.
Hey, it's me, Val, or V Fergie. I'm on here on Twitch and Twitter under V Fergie. What did I think? I think the Frost Shepherds are maybe just them turning on each other type of deal, and basically going to Lord of the Flies, and in the end they just eat each other type of deal. So it's kind of their, or the creature from the egg is just, was there anything really in the egg, or that was just their hallucination type of thing?
Who knows?
So yeah.
Maybe we were the Frost Shepherds all along.
Maybe so. So yeah. But I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Excellent. And Katie.
Yeah, I'm Katie. I love The Quiet Year. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I play it any chance I get. It's so good, creative wise, and you have a different story every time you play. So I love it. I don't know what the Frost Shepherds were. I think that in some way someone ventured out of the subway and back above land somehow, and maybe found out that the world was moving on without them, a la like The Village, perhaps, like, that movie. So I think that probably happened. You can find me on Twitter at KatieFace. I am in a lot of games on Off the Table. I do the social media there on off_the table on Twitter and Twitch. I also have a lot of games on my Twitch, it's a KatieFace. I have Masks, Scum and Villainy. This week we'll be starting the game of Witch Quest. There's some stuff coming in February. So I'm very excited about all of that. And I'm everywhere on the internet, so just follow me on Twitter to see what I'm doing, because I have games all the time. I have I think 12 games a week, give or take. So yeah, I do a lot. But I had a lot of fun. Thank you for letting me play. I love this game. This was a great group.
Thank you so much for playing. This has been awesome. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan, and I think that maybe the Children's Labor Union rose up and consumed their elders, following the meal plan that had been shown, applying a lot of the things that they were supposed to do to the cockroaches to their elders, and that the children were the Frost Shepherds after all. They gained their revenge. I still have no moral compass, even after so long. Well, no, this has been awesome. I adore the Quiet Year, and it was great getting to play with these folks. You guys were great. It's just been delightful.
Thank you.
It's been very, very cool. And so I think that you can find. So yeah, I think that's it's really good. We're glad getting to do this. So I just read a note that is terribly amusing. But you can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch and Twitter. My website is YesThatJim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, and YouTube channel. On Friday afternoons and Saturday mornings, I play video games. Every other Saturday, we play The Cold Ruins of Last Life. That's a setting for Dungeon World where we're all playing undead. That should be coming up next weekend, hopefully, so look for that.
That sweet cursed game that's never going to end.
When will it happen? We had
cursed game.
Yeah, it's we had the curse of the dropped internet happened last time, and hopefully, and it affected us even here tonight for a little bit. So hopefully, it will stay away for the next time, because I want to get back to the disaster that's brewing in that game. But then on Sunday, 1 week from today, we'll be playing The Deep Forest, which is a reimagining of The Quiet Year that tells the story of a collection of monsters in an enchanted forest experiencing a year of relative peace after human colonists have withdrawn. And so I'm going to be very interested to see how that plays. As I announced last week, starting next month, this channel will be hosting a series of short, persistent campaigns of different role-playing games. They'll be weekly. Each one will be no more than about 4 sessions long, and every month we'll switch to a new game. Next month, we're going to be playing a mini-campaign of Dirty Secrets. That is a zero-prep story game that takes on the detective genre, where players come up with suspicious characters and challenges for an investigator to encounter, forming the story as they go. In our series next month, Dingo from Off the Table will be playing the investigator, and I am looking for a couple of players to join me as authorities so we can all gleefully take turns making her detective's life miserable.
Oh, don't be mean.
No, I'm not at all bitter from the time she told me.
She's a little worm. She doesn't know any better.
So this is basically revenge.
No, not at all. We're going to be completely fair and impartial. And sign up. No, it's going to be delightful. I'm really enjoying it. It's a thing you just sort of declare things happening and then find out what they mean later. It's awesome. Just throw noir tropes around.
That's fun.
And sign-ups will be open until this coming Wednesday, January 23rd. So you have until then to apply. You can follow the game sign-up link down below on my Twitch page or go to YesThatJim.com and click on game sign-up there. And that is that. I think what we're going to do is when we go to the end card, after we go to the end card, I'm going to execute a raid possibly on, yes, they're just getting started, it looks like. I'm going to execute a raid on Tales from the Grim as they're once again doing their Call of Cthulhu game.
Penultimate episode of the series.
They're getting real close to the end now. And so I'm very much looking forward to that. So I'm going to go ahead and kick us over there after we go to the end card. Thank you so much for watching, folks. This has been awesome. Take care, and I will see you all of a sudden.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us.